I am working on building the legacy.
It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when and a matter of time.
It doesn't matter if you fail, as long as you get back up and keep trying, eventually you can reach your goals,
Yeah, this year's prep has just been, completely different. Not so much in our approach. This year's prep is different for one main reason, and that is the mental aspect. In the past, I tended to be kind of on the negative side when it came to looking at my own, progress within my own physique. I'd message my coach like, dude, I don't even know, maybe we should take another off season. I'm not gonna be ready, and I think just over time, I've learned to be very, very positive about it, because where the mind goes, the body will follow. So, this whole prep, I sent a check-in, I'm like, we look good, we're on the money. Yeah, this is nasty, okay. Send it to my coach, he's like, yep, we're good to go. We are rolling right now. And then you just have a positive ball of momentum. And when you feel good, when you're having fun and you're not stressed out about things, the body just responds. So I think there's a direct correlation between enjoying your prep, having fun, being excited, being positive, and seeing the good in things rather than trying to pick it apart for whatever reason and being, overly hypercritical. That is the biggest difference, is the mental aspect. Every competitor wants to win, and every single competitor is going through the same things in a sense. Everyone is coming in shape, everyone is pushing for that conditioning, everyone is hurting in some way, pushing to be their best on stage. I look at it like an occupational hazard. If I'm gonna choose to try to be the best in the world at something, especially competitive bodybuilding, there's gonna be days where you feel like crap. That's gonna be most days, especially deep into contest prep. I've been sore every day for 10 years, and that's most people who compete. We train all year round, we diet all year round. You do get used to it. No matter if I'm sore, no matter if I'm tired, the work has to get done. So, we don't make excuses, we don't look for the easy way out. Personally, I take pride in when those days are really, really hard, and I'll check myself and I'll say, today I feel like crap. I am so tired today, but those are the days you have to push even harder than ever before. Anyone can push hard when they feel good. Anybody can train hard when they feel good. What's gonna separate you is when you're pushing hard, when you don't feel like it, when you're tired, when you're depleted, when you're sore, to be able to push past that mental barrier and give it everything you have, no matter what. When you get to a certain level, it is deeper than just training for yourself. You train for the love of the game, of course, but I like to think of it like every time I'm in the gym, I'm training for the people that rock with me and that really, really support me through thick and thin. Like my coach, like my girlfriend who's been here since me losing amateur shows to me, winning an amateur show, to me, getting smoked at a national show, to me winning a national show. She's been with me through all of it. I like to think I do it for the team behind me. Obviously, it's in the judges' hands come show day, but we don't go through all this for the judges. We don't do this for the fans. We love the fans, we appreciate the fans, but I was doing this before I had any fans, before anyone even knew who Andy Paredes was. Now that you do have fans, you do have recognition, it does mean the world, but ultimately from the beginning, I've always done this just purely out of the love I have for it. And now with the support team that I have behind me, every day is even more important because I cannot let them down, I cannot let myself down, and I do not want to let my team down. So that's who we do it for. I don't think there is any other sport that requires as much and the progress is so little and takes so long. You could be perfect for a year and see minimal progress. So I feel like that's why you see a lot of people quit, a lot of people retire, just because they want something quicker. That's the thing with the new generation, my generation, younger people, is they want that instant gratification, right? They want to go train for a month and look like Chris Bumstead or look like myself. But in reality, it just simply takes a lot more time than that. It takes years and years and years to build a championship level physique. It takes years and years of dedication and no deviating from the plan to build a pro level physique. So instant gratification is just a trait that does not work when it comes to competitive bodybuilding, because it takes time, it takes sacrifice, and it's about stacking wins, little wins every single day. Dorian Yates had this saying, 6-time Mr. Olympia. He had this saying that it's like building a house, and every single day you're laying one brick. So think of like you're building this massive house, this huge masterpiece, and every single day you're laying one brick at a time. And that's what it is, A lot of people, they would get frustrated, impatient, and they're like, they want the house to be built already. But it takes a lot of time and a lot of dedication to build a championship level physique. Sometimes when self-doubt does creep in, that's definitely gonna test your character. It's so easy to go train hard and have a good workout and, crank out your rounds of posing and get on that Stairmaster and go as hard as you can when you feel good. But when you're 2 weeks out, you feel like crap, you're low body fat, you're depleted, you're tired. It is very hard to just go about your day. I mean, there's times where it seems like you don't even have the energy to carry a conversation. You barely have enough energy to crack a smile, let alone you still gotta do your cardio, you gotta pose, you have to go train every day. So I would say the biggest struggle is probably just the physical exhaustion. Just when you're that low body fat, it's not easy for anyone to be that lean. And a lot of times, we might be doing multiple shows, so you're not just lean like that for 2-3 weeks. You may be very low body fat for 6 weeks, 8 weeks. And then you have a reverse dieting phase where you're still really, really lean for, another 4 to 8 weeks. So those moments will test your character, when you don't have enough energy to even get out of bed, you don't have enough energy to get out of the car, you still have to find a way to push through and give it everything you have. And, ultimately, some people are built for it and some people are not. Some people cannot handle it, some people can. Some people, they fold under pressure, some people apply pressure. So no matter what, when it gets tough, that's when we find a way to push through even harder. Everything in my day is so planned and so organized and predictable. Not only my morning routine, my daily routine that keeps me grounded, because definitely the people closest to me, my family, my very, very close friends, my people I train with, my training partners, all of that keeps me grounded. Everyone around me always goes out of their way to help me. So whether that's, my family, they're always like, what do you need? How can we help you? How can we make life easier for you? And that could be, in the form of the littlest thing. Same with my training partner. He treats me like a king in the gym. Manny, my training partner, he will, especially deep into prep, he does so many things that I really appreciate, but that I don't even need him to do, and he does it anyways. For example, we're 2 weeks out, say, I'm obviously tired, we're pushing. We finish the exercise. He's like, hey, just sit down, I'll re-rack all the plates on both sides. And in my mind, I'm like, no, bro, I can carry my own, I got this, I'm good. I'll put my own plates away. I'm not gonna let him put my 45s away, but he insists, he always goes out of his way to make sure I have everything I need. Whatever it is, he's always there, to help. So just something as simple as that, the people around me, my support team, they all keep me grounded because they make prep and competing so seamless for me and so easy. I always say, you see the one person on stage by themselves, but it takes a village. It takes a huge support team. It takes a great video person. It takes a great woman, it takes a great family, a great coach, and everyone plays their role. So, you know, without one of them, it's a huge component missing. So as a team, I feel like we're truly unstoppable. So with the team that I have, ultimately it's up to me to put in the work. And if I put in the work with the team that I have, the sky is the limit.